Hello again, everybody. Zack is here. My WWE Wrestlemania review for Sunday, April 3rd, 2016, from the AT&T Stadium, Dallas, Texas. Let's get the elephant out of the room first. NXT TakeOver, we ain't fucking about it. We all knew going into this WrestleMania was like one of the worst builds ever, and the injury-plagued roster was really hurting this card. It was like maybe out of the 8 matches tonight, we were looking at 3 or 4 matches and thinking they were going to be great. Only 2 matches were really good tonight. The rest of the card, especially with the finishes, yeah. In the main event, well, same old WWE. When you think about this WrestleMania, you're not going to think about the good things. You're not going to think about the Intercontinental Championship ladder match. You're not going to remember the excellent Divas match that they finally gave them their time in the spotlight. You're only going to remember the bad thing. And that was the main event. Didn't live up to its billing as the worst main event in Mania history since WrestleMania 25. Man, Wall's gotta be really fucking good. And man, got this bullshit. 6.3 tonight. There was only 2 really good matches tonight. The rest of the matches were up and down tonight. Especially the main event, of course. Which I know a lot of people won't be happy about it. Typical WWE. Do something shocking. They don't fucking do it. They don't fucking do it. Same old predictable bullshit. I love this company, and I love WWE, but it's hard to be a fan tonight. You know, moments like NXT, TakeOver Friday, made me proud to be a wrestling fan, and especially of this WWE company. Tonight, made me question it. And Wall's got a lot of fucking work to do tomorrow. Bullet Club, debut, bitches. So let's get on to the pre-show matches first. We have, of course, the United States Championship. Ryback challenging Kalisto. This belonged in the pre-show for sure. This should have been the ladder match. Yeah, because I've said this, and a lot of people probably agree with me on this one, that the ladder match should have been the United States Championship match, not the Intercontinental Championship match. Should have been a ladder match for the U.S. Championship. Because Kalisto Ryback was just, ugh. Okay. It was Kalisto's first Mania. I like this suit when he came out. You know, I like this suit. And, cool little outfit on. Because we had a little Goldberg chance. Oh, yeah, no Goldberg. Just rumors. Anyway. Said, okay, little bow. It was just punching and kicking. It was kind of a beatdown match with Ryback. So he's the big guy. Just destroying Kalisto for the early part of the matchup. And Kalisto did try to come back with his big flying moves. Big good Kawana. But he couldn't do much of Ryback's mobility. You know, Ryback had a little push going on, but I don't think he deserves a push now. He doesn't deserve anything now. So, despite Ryback coming with the big moves, they could try and go for the shell shock. And I love this. The only really good spot was Ryback was going for the shell shock. And then Kalisto turned into a reverse into a DDT. That was a nice little spot there. Whereas Kalisto went for another big move and Ryback went for a big move. Ryback was ripping off a turnbuckle, the middle turnbuckle, and it kind of backfired as he got pushed into the exposed turnbuckle in the middle, setting up this Lina del Sol for Kalisto to 1, 2, 3 victory, or Kalisto retaining its United States Championship. And I have to say it wasn't full yet because it was like, probably like 5:30, 5:45 Eastern Standard Time when this event went down. 2.4. The match was just okay. It was an okay little opener. It's the pre-show, but it was just okay. I actually gave it 2.2. 2.2. Kalisto did the best he could, Ryback, and I hope this feud ends tonight. So there you go. Now, on to our next matchup, the second hour of the pre-show. Man, what a long minute. Almost 8 hours tonight. Because the show went overtime. Way overtime. That's why this reviews can be posted way later. Who'd have thought Mania would 1 over 11? Going almost till midnight. 4.5 hours a night, the main show. Counting that and the Pre-show 7.5 hours, almost 8 hours tonight. NXT delivered better entertainment in 2.5 hours. NXT stole the weekend, especially with some NXT people showing up. You saw a lot of NXT in this next matchup. The 10 Divas tag, Team B.A.D and Blonde. Yet, of course, Lana made her in-ring debut, all that obviously see. Going to team up with Naomi and Tamina. And moving to the main roster. And also Summer Rae to take on the team of Total Divas. Brie, Alicia Fox, Natalya, Paige, and Eva Marie making her in-ring debut in the main roster in a long time. This match was not bad. It was okay. At least we had one really good women's match. Women's match! With the rebranding of the Women's Championship tonight. It's been rumored and now it's official. I'm glad that the inexperienced people didn't get in that much. Lana didn't even get in at all. She only got in for like a little bit with some big spin kicks. It's because of her inexperience. The more experienced divas wrestled a lot. You didn't see Summer Rae that much with Alicia Fox. You saw Paige get in there. Emma, I love heel Emma. You know, I love that she reinvented herself in NXT. You know, went from the bubbly girl that failed the main roster and now is a heel. And she worked really well as a heel in this matchup. She was in for most of the match. She told Natalya. Some of the time, he had a little one of Paige kind of reprising their goal from NXT. And I'm glad, like I said, inexperienced didn't get in that much, especially Eva Marie, who got booed out the building. You thought Woman got booed bad? I think Woman got booed worse than Eva. So, Eva came in, and she looked better in the ring. She looked better than she did in NXT. You know, she got some little moves, including sliced bread. There was like a little spot with all the finishers, like people doing all the finishers. That's when the sliced bread came in. Brie did the Brie Buster, and even the kicks to Naomi. And then Tamina came in some more, like I said, like all the finishers that came back to back. Tamina was some more drop. That's when even did the slide bread Tamina. And Summer Rae would drop kick Eva Marie. Then Paige would do a big move on Emma. Brie went for a drop kick. And then referee was respected at one point. And Brie got knocked off the top rope by Lana. Despite that stretch, and B.A.D and Blonde did not get the win at that point. As Brie would get the yes slap on Naomi and get Naomi to tap out. And then Nikki came out, neck brace and all, to embrace her sister and her partners. I mean, Nikki may not be a full-time champion again. 2.5 in this match. It was not bad. It could have been worse. It was a clusterfuck. We saw no turn. We didn't see Eva Marie turn on her partners. I know a lot of people were thinking that, but we didn't see any turns at all from anybody tonight. So, there you go. Eva looked okay, looked better, and I'm still not a fan. You know, she's trying, but she's embracing the booze unlike a woman is. So, there you go. Okay, little Divas matchup. This is it's like sad they're going back to back. Yeah, at least there was one women's match, which I'll get to later on tonight. So there you go. I'm glad, like I said, once again, I'm glad inexperienced wrestlers didn't get that much time in the ring. More experienced Divas getting it. That's why you had Lana hide behind. She hid behind those other Divas just because of that. So now on with the last match of the pre-show. Of course, it's second out with the simulcast on both WWE Network and USA Network. Ooh, so taking on the Dudleys. In this match, you know, they had a little bit of a build to it. Not much of a build for this match. You know, the Dudleys turned heel. The match was just okay. You know, decent little match for the warm-up show. And Dudleys giving some big moves. Good a lot at one point. They even teased the tables at one point. But they got tapped by the Usos. Like, people don't like the Usos anymore. You know, Usos are like the John Cena of the tag team division. You know, got Owens stale pass, and especially when he got injured. You know, at last year's WrestleMania, when the Usos got injured, and was gone for like almost a year. When they came back, they weren't the same. That's, I think, what happened to Roman Reigns. You know, he got injured for a couple months, and he came back and got booed, and here's where we are. Which I'll get to him in a while, a little bit. So, after the time, going to be big double team moves. Uso came in, big, a lot of kicks. After one got isolated, here comes one with a hot tag in. Big moves. Even a reverse 3D could not keep him down. We have that reverse 3D. They were going for the 3D on to Jay. And they got a big super kick in. And a 1-2-3 victory for the Usos. But Usos weren't able to celebrate for long. As they got beaten down by the Dudleys. And despite this saying, you'll never see tables again, they've been using them as weapons in other matches. But tonight, they pulled them out and we're going to put the Usos through the tables. But the Usos turned, literally, pardon the pun, turned the tables. I'll be all week. On the Dudley Boys. A couple weeks ago, the Usos tried to put one of the Dudleys through a table. On Raw. That didn't happen. But tonight, the Usos did get to put the Dudleys through the tables, and they put them both under the tables, and they both superfly splash onto both Dudleys through the tables off the top rope. So there you go. 2.3. This match was decent. Okay. Little warm-up match. These three matches did their job well. Played the pre-show match. Now on to, of course, the main card. Interesting finishes. Interesting picks. Besides the main event. First we kick over to American Beautiful. WWE's like the NFL when it comes to picking performers for their shows. They don't know the whole audience. They have Fifth Harmony who perform the American Beautiful. Not that bad. I've heard of them. I'm a disc jockey. I know who they are because I got to keep up with the latest music. I even played them at my gig recently at Wilkinson. They weren't that bad. There are good harmonies in there. They sung beautifully. Proving that they can sing. This manufactured. They did come from the X Factor. So they proved they're not just manufactured BS. They can actually kind of sing. There you go. On to the opening matchup. Like it was last year. For the second year in a row, the Intercontinental Championship ladder match opened up WrestleMania. As Kevin Owens would defend against Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, Stardust, Cara, The Miz, and Zack Ryder. I think I said 7 names, right? Yeah, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, I said them all. Stardust, Miz, and Cara, Zack Ryder. I said them all. This is a really good opener. Again, once again, this should have been a one-on-one between Owens and Zayn. This ladder match did up to the expectations. It was still a fun ladder match. Great spots as usual. Spot fast, but it was a good spot fast. Very efficient spots in this matchup. So many to name. Especially the last spot with Aaron Owens. I hope he's fine with that big nasty splash he took from Zayn. One of my favorites. There's so many good spots. Sami Zayn, he flew through the ladder and jumped on everybody. He had Owens did have some chances to go one-on-one, proving they should have been one-on-one instead of this ladder match. At least they get to show that. And you had St. Carl doing some big spots on the ladder too, including one moment when he got pushed off the ladder and broke the ladder that was like between the wing and the barricade, kind of like a la Jeff Hardy from this WrestleMania 23. And we had a little super kick party. Dolph Ziggler was super kicking people in this match. Like Ziggler was the MVP in this match. He looked good. He did a boot on the bomb, all the big moves. And like I said, at least he only had chances to go one-on-one with no one else in the ring. And Owens did some big moves too. He did the splash in the corner with the ladder. That was cool. I think he was on Sami. And I even liked when St. Carl was on the ladder. One other good spot when St. Carl was on the ladder. He got knocked out. Got pushed. Like Kevin Owens or somebody pushed the ladder to knock him off, but St. Carl landed on the top rope and did a springboard. That was cool. Little coming from St. Carl there. And he did, like I said, a big spot when he went through the ladder that was placed in the middle. In the final two battles, like Owens and Zayn were fighting for the belt. And at one point, Sami Zayn did have the belt at one point. He was inches from the belt. And with Owens knocked out, because Zayn pushed off Owens in a nasty spill through the ladder. Like he nailed him with a suplex that knocked Owens out backwards into a ladder, and his head went through one of the steps to the ladder and hoping he didn't injure himself too bad. It was a nasty splash, nasty hitting. So then Zayn was close to that belt. Miz puts them off. Now I was like, no way is Miz going to win. And then Zack Ryder shows up, knocked Miz off. And then for some very interesting surprise finishes, Zack Ryder wins. In honor of that, I gotta put this on. Woo woo woo. Zack Ryder was a replacement for Neville when Neville was injured. So to see Zack Ryder win was a very nice surprise. As much as I would have loved to have seen Sami Zayn win, hey, at least Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens can feud not for a title. They can put on good matches no matter what. So this could lead a one-on-one feud with these two. It doesn't matter if it's for a belt or not. They're going to put on great matches. But for Zack Ryder, a guy who's been up and down throughout the years, especially after that big 2011 for him, being U.S. champion, you know what I mean? And he has been in WrestleMania before, but he hasn't had a real WrestleMania moment. Besides getting low blow by even WrestleMania 28 when he was with Team Teddy. He didn't come out to his theme properly, and he came out to his theme tonight. He looked good in his suit. But to see him win the match was a nice surprise. It was a feel-good moment to open up Mania. His dad came into the ring, and he hugged him. No big O. So I was a big fan of his. I had to shit everything when he was doing the whole 2011 thing. And that's just because my name is Zack. You know? It kind of too late. You know, he's been stuck in the mid-call for so long. Stopped jobbing, and it's a nice surprise. I don't know if Zack's going to drop the belt tomorrow, but still, feel-good moment to open up Mania. Nice surprise, interesting surprise to open up WrestleMania. 3.7. Open up, 3.8 actually. 2, 3, I'll give it up. I'll give it a 4.0. To open up WrestleMania this evening. Nice little opener. Probably one of the only really good matches in the card tonight. And great feel-good for Zack Ryder. Phil Bolski, woo, 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 you know it, bro. And take care, spike your hair. Okay, take that off, just doing it in honor of my Bolski. Feel good moment, very nice surprise. Zayn will be IC champion one day. He had a great match against Nakamura. He'll ascend from here. And the surprise finishes and interesting choices for finishes continue. And the next matchup was AJ Styles against Jericho 4. As much as we would also like to have seen AJ's against Owens, these two had a little lengthy feud, which I hoped was going to end tonight. Well, it may last a little longer. Nice match, a little bit better. I think it was better than Fastlane match. Better than Fastlane. Really good matchup between two guys. Great wrestling, great action. Styles going to a big flying front. He didn't do the Styles Clash. Did it tonight. And even Jericho tried doing it. That was cool that Jericho tried doing it. But then Jericho would be countered by AJ. And it was a very long match. I think there was a lot of long matches tonight. And Jericho playing the heel so well. You know, played the heel so well in this matchup. Some big moves. The Lion saw multiple times the walls of Jericho. And all that great stuff. And even Styles at one point, there was a couple of good spots when Styles was going for the pin. Like, he got caught by Jericho, put it into the walls of Jericho. But then AJ would counter into his own submission. The calf killer. Caught calf crusher. WWE-wise. So, there you go there. Fun little matchup between these two guys. Again, Jericho nailed him with a couple times with his cold breaker. And even I think Styles did try to do the bloody stunning DDT at one point. I think he was going for it at one point. Or he did do a brainbuster. And AJ did, of course, the flying form at one point in the big splash. But after that, Jericho would come back with another cold breaker. And a 1, 2, 3. Jericho wins. Wow, this is stunning. AJ's versus WrestleMania. AJ should know this by now, sadly, that WWE doesn't like people from TNA winning their first WrestleMania matches. I'm looking at you, Sting. So, I'll give it a 3.8. I mean, it was a fun match. Jericho was an interesting surprise. The sad thing is, as I said, I thought the match was going to be with AJ winning and the feud was going to end. I think the feud is sadly going to continue because we're going to have a fifth match now. Because we're even. Jericho's 1-2. AJ's won too. So this is a feud that never ends. It will go on and on, my friend. So if you saw my Hall of Fame review, I was promising I wouldn't sing that much. And I just broke that promise. I just sung. Feud that never ends. So I'm quoting Lamb Chop here. That's how young I am. That's how old I am. I had to quote Lamb Chop. There's a feud that never ends. Come on, AJ needs to feud with somebody else. I love Jericho, but come on. AJ needs to feud with somebody else. And then Zack Ryder sees getting a championship. Where to go from here? So fun matchup. Probably the best in a while. Better, like it's better than Fastlane. 3.8 for my score. Now on to our next matchup. It changed a lot. From a 4-on-3 handicap match for the titles to a 4-on-3 handicap match that wasn't for the titles to a 6-man. Damn, this match went through a lot of changes. So it'll be a 6-man tag involving the New Day taking on the League Nations. New Day had a fun entrance. They came out of a big box of booty-os. They make sure you ain't booty. They pulled the box out and Sarah came out. Here they come. Wearing like little Power Rangers, like White Ranger stuff. And Xavier's hair was poofed out as usual. And you're like 100,000 people. They broke the record tonight. 101,673. My mom and dad were at WrestleMania 3. So it's kind of sad for them to see the record be broken. Kind of, it was like bittersweet for my parents. They liked seeing it broken, but they were at WrestleMania 3. So New Day came out, good promo again, to get ready for Mania. Then, of course, League of Nations came out. The 3 League of Nations they represented, Sheamus, Del Rio, Rusev. Baron was at ringside. It wasn't 4-on-3. It was just 3-on-3. I don't know why they made it a 3-on-3 instead of 4-on-3. But what the heck. New Day's trying to make the best out of this shitty-ass feud. They should have feuded against Android Cass, but hopefully they beat them all night to make up for kind of a weird, lackluster Mania for the most part. There were some good things, but people will remember the bad things more. But at least one good thing, we're remembering. So New Day came in early with some big moves, and the double team in the corner with Kobe being whipped into one of the members of League of Nations by Big E. But then the isolation game would be good. As Del Rio and Sheamus and Rusev would isolate Big E after he got tagged in. But of course, Wood's he has some big moves delivered to him by the League of Nations. I kind of dozed off during this match a little bit. I was a little tired today. So I didn't see a lot of it. I have to admit that I didn't see a lot of this match because I kind of fell asleep during this match. Because I love New Day, but it's just the feud against League of Nations. When I knew they were feuding against, I'm like, they're trying to make the best out of it. It was an okay match. Hopefully this feud ends tonight. Please let this feud end tonight. And not feud against other people. Even if it wasn't for the titles. Before we get in, trying to get him some big moves. The boom job and all that. Even going for Trouble in Paradise. When he got isolated, Biggie got tagged in. He came in for the big splash. I kind of woke up, he was doing the big splash through the ropes where he got that knocked Sheamus out. But then he got knocked out of there, and then Xavier got tagged in, tried to go for some big moves. But he got pummeled. About there, we have double D. You got the double D stomp at one point. Anyway, we got distracted, and Xavier I was whipped into a bull hammer from Bear from the outside. Got nailed with a bull kick from Sheamus, and a 1-2-3 victory from the League of Nations beating the New Day. Continuing the questionable finishes. I was like, wow, at least people will lose it tonight. It's kind of like the anti-IWC WrestleMania tonight. So the League of Nations won. But it was the post-match everyone's talking about. As they were celebrating the victory over the New Day, proving there's no other 3-man team that can beat us. Here comes Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Mick Foley to the rescue. Beating down League of Nations to a big pop. They were so desperate for star power tonight. I told you in the beginning of the video, the injury play call really hurt this card. That Mick Foley, Austin, and Shawn came out with the super kick, the stunner, medical clause, make people nostalgia, attitude era nostalgia. It was a fun spot, even though they were used to kind of bury League of Nations, which is good because they're not getting a lot of heat anyway. It was still cool to see those three come out there and get a huge pop like that. A huge reaction from the fans. Probably one of the biggest pops of the night because it was, like I said, that kind of mania. So then the League of Nations were taken out. New Day came back out and kind of helped them out. Celebrated having everybody dance. Even Austin danced a little bit. Shawn got down. HB Shizzle got down. But then all of a sudden, the beer bash, he stunned Xavier. Then Xavier takes all the big spots. He takes the 3D, and he takes the stun from Austin. So there you go. For the New Day match against League Nations, I'll give it 2.6. It was okay. Especially kind of dozed off doing it. So there you go. Now on to the no-holds-barred Steve fight. Brock Lesnar taking on Dean Ambrose. The match could have been a lot better. It was exciting, but it wasn't exciting as I thought it was going to be. It was going to be a beatdown match. 13 suplexes Ambrose took. And he kept getting back up, though. I didn't like Ambrose's performance in this match. Despite basically it was a fucking beatdown match. And the weapons were used a lot, even though Lesnar was stepping on him after Ambrose tried to come into the kendo stick. Brock kept stepping on it every time. And Heyman was laughing at it. But then eventually, Ambrose would come in with a kendo stick and also nail her a bunch of chairs. You know what I mean? I kind of liked Ambrose in this match and proving why he should have been the main event and fuck Roman Reigns. One day. 33. Anyway, despite Ambrose getting pummeled by Lesnar, he kept coming back with big moves, including a low blow at one point to get him back free. And that's when he started getting he did change the chainsaw, but the steel chairs were brought in. He brought a bunch out, lay him onto the ring. But then he got suplexed on it. Even Dudley Deeds at one point. It was a cool little thing when Lesnar would go for the F5. And then Ambrose turned it into Dudley Deeds. And Lesnar's head kind of barely dented one of the chairs in the ring. So that was kind of a cool little spot there. And then, like I said, Ambrose had this little like this suplex city strip, and he crossed it over with a little A on it. So he took his shirt off, and that's when after he threw all the chairs, he teased the barbed wire bat that Mick Foley gave him. Then he didn't use it. He tried using it, but Lesnar ducked out of it from Ambrose using it, delivered an F5, 1, 2, 3 victory for Brock Lesnar. Before that, it was a suplex. And by the F5 was on the chairs. And a victory for Brock Lesnar. Ambrose didn't win. Well, we were all wishfully thinking that Ambrose could actually win. But Lesnar's an investment. No matter how bold you are with him, is just known for his one move, for the suplexes. And this kind of was a beatdown match. I'm gonna say 3.5. Could have been a whole lot better. More weapons uses, and give Ambrose more offense. Instead of getting his ass beat. In his entire feud, Ambrose did not look good the entire time. He didn't look strong. Make woman strong. Big popular quote in the IWC way. They didn't make Ambrose look strong the entire feud. He got pummeled every time. He never stood tall. And he didn't stand tall tonight. Indeed, Goliath beat David in this one. And it was the last name. So there you go. For all the wonky things WWE did tonight, and all things we'll try to forget, like the bad things, I will give WWE one little credit. And I'll give them one standing ovation. For letting the women wrestle the fucking match we've been wanting. It's going to be embarrassing for me to say, but I'm happy to say this. Match of the night. The triple threat match for the Women's Championship. Charlotte defending against Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. Now, I've been saying this for weeks. We're going to give them the match that we all wanted. Give them enough time. Give them all the time in the world. And break the restrictions. Make this revolution a real thing. And steal the short mania with a match that would be seen in NXT. And boy, did these three deliver the match we were all hoping it was going to be. From the entrances, they got real entrances with Becky coming in a big pyro. Sasha coming out with her cousin Snoop Dogg, rapping her little remix of Sasha's theme. And Charlotte coming out with all of her flair regalia. I'm glad to say, Ric Flair did not get too much involved. Even if he was involved in the finish, but didn't really spoil it. He didn't spoil the match. So the match itself was awesome. Terrific. Best match of the night. And it's kind of like weird to say it. It's weird to say it on a WWE card. A main roster card. That the Divas match, the women's match, was the match of the night. And Final Revolution lived up to the hype. Excellent match. They gave him, 20 minutes at least? 15, 20? Because when I saw Natalya Charlotte at Fastlane, I had hope that they were going to give this much time to the Divas match at Mania. They fucking did. There were so many epic moments in this matchup. Shotzi flying, Charlotte flying, great action, great grappling, great excitement. All three looked tremendously good in this match. Becky had great offense in. Sasha had great offense. Multiple attempts in the bank statement. There was a lot of submission attempts in this matchup with the disarmer, the bank statement, and, of course, the figure 4, figure 8. There was a little botch in the match, but I didn't spoil it. There was one point when Charlotte doubled natural selected both Sasha and Becky, and the crowd was into. I was so happy for them. They got 100,000 people cheering for them, really, really into a women's match, and it was something that's awesome. I knew they were going to steal the show if allowed to. Do like they did in NXT, and they were finally allowed to tonight. So there you go. So I had that fun match to finish. A little wonky, but hey, like I said, didn't spoil it. Charlotte knocked Sasha out of the ring. At one point, Flair was knocked out of the match, so yay. But he got back up eventually, sadly, to involve the ending. Charlotte had the figure 8 on Becky Lynch, and Sasha already got knocked out, and Ric Flair was pulling her. He wouldn't allow her back in the ring, which forced Becky to tap out. Charlotte wins. I thought Sasha Banks was going to win. But hey, even though, like we had our fears, Ric Flair kind of got involved in the ending, but Ric didn't spoil it. He did not spoil. He kind of dictated the ending, but he didn't spoil the match. The match itself was excellent. People are going to forget Ric Flair's involvement because the Divas match was so damn great. 4.2. It was like the only really good, exciting match in the card besides the ladder match because every other match didn't deliver. You know, the injury played roster hurt this Mania bad. For this being the biggest Mania of all time, the biggest attendance of all time, it didn't feel like it for the most part. It didn't feel like a Mania match. Women's wrestling is back at long last on the main roster. They gave these three the opportunity to shine. They fucking did tonight. Been saying it. As much as I would love to see Becky, Charlotte one-on-one, Charlotte, Sasha one-on-one, which still needs to happen one day. Maybe SummerSlam. With these two and a proper one-on-one match. Adding Becky in there was not a bad trade-off. And it was excellent. Very, very excellent match. Even if Flair was involved, it didn't spoil it. Now on to our next matchup of the night. We have, of course, Hell in a Cell. Undertaker and Shane. A lot was on the line. Shane, if he would win tonight, he would take over Raw. And Taker would be tired. Shane came out, Shane O'Mac down with a jersey. He came out with his sons. That was a cool moment. He did the Shane O'Mac dance with his sons. Then Taker came out. A lot of people were anxious about how this match was going to be. And how the match was going to end. There was going to be any interference. Be a clean ending. It was kind of a clean ending for the most part. And these guys were going towards 50. Where they're going to deliver an epic match. The match was good. Could have been more exciting. There were some still exciting moments, but these guys were over 50. And Shane hasn't wrestled a full match in like 7 or 8 years. So some wear and tear would be shown. And it was shown early. It was kind of a beatdown match, kind of like the Lesnar Ambrose match. And it got physical at one point. You know, Taker and Shane trading submissions. And Taker still sporting a little black guy from Shane's attack on Raw on Monday. Not as bad as it was a couple days ago. You know, and Shane got the big moves in. Didn't use a lot of weapons, besides, of course, the trash can. Shane got to do coast to coast tonight, and he still had it when it comes to coast to coast. Although the trash can fell from Taker's chest and kind of fell to his crotch area, so he felt more of an impact with his crotch being nailed by the trash can. But it was still cool to see Shane O'Mac once again do the coast to coast, and he nailed it brilliantly. He still had it when it came to coast to coast. It's conditioning. You try to be conditioned, but when you're over 50, you get easily worn out. It's still a physical, grueling match. It was just a fight. You know, maybe not the best Hell in a Cell of all time, but maybe up there in the top 15. Because it was just violent. And it was the first Hell in a Cell in 4 years at a WrestleMania. First indoor stadium mania with a Hell in a Cell, because last time Hell in a Cell was around, it was outdoors. And all 3 Hell in a Cells, Mania 15, Mania 28, and Mania 32, all involved Taker. So then, interesting spot, most interesting point of the match was when Shane grabbed a wrench, and he unhinged the cell, and he got speared through it by Taker, breaking the wall down and ball on the outside, leading up to one of the most dramatic spots of the match and the turning point of the match. They ball on the outside, ball across the barricade. Shane nailed Taker, put him through a table, put him on top of a table again, nailed him with a TV monitor. And one thing I was going to do like he did on Monday, on a much bigger scale. Instead of climbing the top rope to deliver an elbow to Taker, he went on top of the cell and attempted to deliver the elbow on top of the cell. He jumped on top of the cell, delivered the elbow, crashed and burned, Taker rolled out of the way. And that was the turning point of the match. Shane was like out cold. Even the fans were chanting, please don't die. Taker rolled her back in, delivered the tombstone, and a 1-2-3 victory for The Undertaker. Shane did not win. Shane would not bring change. Like, I know some people were expecting Shane to lose and all. You know, it was only a short time deal, but to actually see him make change would have been awesome. Especially, they need change right now. Especially with Roman Reigns. But I think Taker's not retiring yet. He wants to lose to Cena probably. When Cena's healthy. Probably next year. So, give this match a 3.6. It was still a fun Hell in a Cell. It was grueling. It was violent. Could be more exciting. But hey, they were, like I said, over 50. So they did the best they could with it. Still fun Hell in a Cell, though. Very dramatic, especially with that Shane going up the top of the cell. And he got stretched out. And he got rolled out. And he had a thumbs up. And also, there you go. Now, on to the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Very interesting surprise picks. We had, of course, Social Outcast in there. Kane, Big Show, Mark Henry, the ones that we all knew were going to show up. But we had some surprises. We had DDP. We had Baron Corbin from NXT. Last year, we had Hideo Itami from NXT, the representative of NXT. We also had Tatanka. And Shaquille O'Neal showed up. What? That was weird. See him show up, he bought a Big Show a little bit. He didn't get much physical. I like the shoes, the black and white shoes. That was funny. And he and Big Show both got eliminated when everyone teamed up on him. So the Battle Royal, this is the 30th in a row Battle Royal has happened. 2 years ago, Mania 30 is on the main show. Last year was the pre-show. And this was supposed to be in the pre-show this year, but it was the main show. I think we know why it was on main show. So we had all these guys in there. The Ascension was in there. The continued burying of them continued. And burial of Tyler Breeze continued. Even Social Outcast looked good in the matchup. But again, they all get eliminated quickly by Goldust and all these guys. And what was good finishes of the night, after a lot of questionable people winning, like, you know, Jericho winning, New Day losing, Sami Zayn losing, Zack Ryder winning, Tinker winning, Shane losing, Charlotte winning, Sasha losing, New Day losing, League of Nations winning. You know what I mean? What was interesting finishes happened. When Baron Corbin won as he eliminated Kane. After Kane eliminated both Dallas and Darren Young, Baron Corbin won. And that's why he lost to Aries on Friday. Wow, that's a great way to Corbin to debut. You know, debut at main roster and win the Under the Giant Battle Royal. Or is he debuting at main roster? Is he still in NXT? Or is this like the little hint he's going to main roster? And that was fun. And I think Corbin's getting better. I've been calling Corbin the woman clone. And he's getting better in the ring. He got better. He's got better mic skills now. You know, it's kind of cool to see NXT guy. NXT stealing the weekend. NXT TakeOver, best show of the weekend. The NXT women stole the show at Mania. And an NXT Storm won the Battle Royal. 2.7. Just because it was a technical Battle Royal. But nice surprise seeing Corbin not only in the Battle Royal, but actually winning it. Now, on to the segment that was like before the main event. It was kind of interesting this segment happened before the main event. That Mania went over, like this review's running over. This is probably the longest review ever. I'm sorry. It's because Mania went over. It's probably my longest review ever. So, if you're still watching at this point, thank you for bearing with me. I'll try to make this short but sweet. Rock came out with the Dallas Cowboys cheerleader with a flamethrower and had a little speech. I'm like, that's, you know, they're teasing the Rock's usage for months. This is all they're using him for? Then the Wyatts came out. And I was like, they haven't been announced for a puppet match. And then they're involvement, interacting with the Rock and having a fun segment with the Rock. And that's when Rock broke the record. Said the record was broken with 101,000. And Bray's like, you know, I need awards and I want it. I chose you, Rock, as a sacrifice. I want you. Friend or foe. I'm going to share the truth with you. It's not your moment. And then Rock made fun of, you know, Bray Wyatt's look, saying Duck Dynasty, saying you're not the eater of words, you're eater of hot pockets. And he wanted a match. He wasn't going to wrestle at all because the insurance company, Bray Wyatt wouldn't let him wrestle or at least wrestle longer than a minute. That's what kind of happened. Rock took he had a stretch, he had like a little tank top on. He took that off to reveal his wrestling gear. And he beat Eric Rowan in a makeshift match in 6 seconds with a Rock bottom in the pin. But then the Wyatts were teaming up on him. And here comes John Cena, who got cleared. And he got cheered more than Woman. That's sad that Cena actually got cheered. Then he and the Rock laid the SmackDown on the Wyatts, laid him up with the Final Knuckle Shuffle FU, leading up to the People's Elbow. Wyatt's continuing to get buried. You know, they're like, Rock even said it to Wyatt in his promo. You're very charismatic. But W's been demoting you by letting you lose preliminary matches. And get your butts whipped by Cena again. This time with the Rock involved. Even if it was still a fun segment. But it didn't erase the fact the main event was next. That's why they had Cena and Rock go on before the main event. So it was still a fun segment though. Even Wyatt got buried, it was still a fun segment. Rock and Cena got biggest crowd ovations. You know what, 7, the Legends got bigger ovations than the main wrestlers, except the women. Now, on to the main event. The anticlimactic ending of WrestleMania 32. Roman Reigns against Triple H for the WWE Heavyweight Championship. I did like Triple H's entrance though. It's kind of like a makeshift, kind of a cheaper version of his entrance last year. But it was still kind of fun with the little building with the Triple H logo and 70 coming out, saying bow down to the king. And it's kind of interesting to the heels. And they're getting cheered. Like I said, WrestleMania. WrestleMania 22 all over again. I've been saying it, and everyone else agrees with me. WrestleMania 22, Triple H, John Cena. Triple H was the heel. Cena was the face. Triple H got cheered. Cena got booed. 10 years later, Triple H is the heel. Roman Reigns is the face. Triple H got cheered. Roman got booed out the fucking building tonight. He got booed out of AT&T Stadium. In the match, WrestleMania main event is WrestleMania 25. Triple H had a good match with Ambrose, but he couldn't have a good match with Roman. If his life depended on it. Roman tried to look good. He tried to look better than me. There was like, okay, little spots. He goes to this fly move and a spear through the barricade, but he still sucked. Didn't drive by and all that. Even when he speared Stephanie in the match, you know, he still sucks. And it's not Wade's fault. It's the booking. It's him being pushed too hard. It's being pushed way too hard here. And we're not fucking buying it. No, we're not fucking buying it anymore. So after the Woman, it was just not much of a match. It was just a beatdown. Triple H, trying to Valkyrie at one point, and even trying to use a sledgehammer. And that's when Stephanie got involved. And that's when she got speared. by a woman. I thought the referee was going to get knocked out. And this was supposed to be no DQ. It said no DQ on the poster, but they never added that stipulation. It said on the poster and the t-shirts that were coming out that this was supposed to be no DQ. Well, they never officially added the stipulation at all. So, kind of a miss put on the shirt. So, and the poster and all that stuff. So, and every time Wayne would come in some offense, boy, did he get fucking booed out the building. And the crowd was so dead by that point. Not only was this the anticlimactic main event, but also the event went on a little long, 4.5 hours. So then, the inevitable happened. Triple H got speared, got Superman punched. But Wayne's got the big moves in on Triple H. And 1, 2, 3. Said it since Fastlane. The WrestleMania script was already written. It had to be acted out. And yet, yes, the script was acted out tonight. And the script stayed the same. Roman Reigns fucking won. I thought Shane being early was going to sign that Shane was going to win. And Shane was going to change the match and add somebody to save this WrestleMania. Like the last 2 years, have a savior. But they already went the predictable route once again. They had an opportunity to shock the world, do something different. Heel to Waynes. I thought Watt was going to come in and screw Waynes. But it was used for a Wyatt segment. It would be more beneficial to Watt to screw Woman. But hey, they've screwed Woman so many times. He needs his Mania moment. He got screwed out of his Mania moment last year. He needs his moment. Let him have his moment. Sadly, let him have his moment. And I thought Trash was going to be pouncing on him. There was a little cheer when he won, but still got booed out as he was, celebrating, So, 2.5. Anticlimactic finish. The finish we all saw coming, sadly, with Reigns winning. Kind of weird finishes. Kind of like the worst Mania. Like, not the worst Mania, but kind of like the most uneven Mania of all time. These women's matches were really good tonight. IC title match was good. The Hell in a Cell and Lesnar and Ambrose, 2 of the matches we thought were going to be good were just okay. Should have been more exciting. So it's going to up and down Mania, and NXT stole the weekend. Raw better deliver tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's Raw would feel like the Raw after Fastlane. Fastlane sucked, and Raw needed to deliver, and it did with Shane's return. Raw tomorrow night better deliver with the possible debuts of the Bullet Club, Enzo and Cass, and others. Raw needs to deliver tomorrow night to make up for this lackluster at best WrestleMania. Even though there were some good moments, the bad outweighed the good here. And like I said, no one's going to remember the excellent Divas match. Everyone's going to remember fucking Reigns winning as we all fucking knew it. So there you go. I'll give it a 7. Yeah, I'll stick with 6.5. I'll stick with 6.5 for this WrestleMania tonight. So there you go. With my WrestleMania 32 review. You've been attacked by the long review from Zack. See you all later. Oh yeah.